Hello all, this is Rajesh Palraj. Welcome to my YouTube channel Defreeze Coding. This is the fourth video in the Electric Trend series. Let's do a recap. In the first video, we were able to create a Blazor project, and then we discussed about various render modes. In the second project, we were able to create a REST API controller, then test it out using the Swagger. The third video, we were able to create a table, load the data into the table, and then we were able to use entity framework to pull the data, and then created a controller class to display the data via the Swagger. So we were able to create the get generation data method that will get the data and then return it back to the caller. So we were able to test it out in via the Swagger UI. Today, right, we're gonna get the data and then pass on to the client to the trend.razor, and then we're gonna add a chart to display the data. Before that, right, let's take a minute, review the business case, and then get started. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so the first thing is, right, so we're gonna discuss the HTTP client. Let's look at this article, right? We have the Blazor app, WebAssembly. We have the combination of both. We have the server as well as WebAssembly. Uh, it, it, the concept is the same. If we are a WebAssembly or the server app, it's the same. If you want to interact with the REST API, the interaction will happen via HTTP client. The interface is HTTP client factory. So this is how uh, interaction happens. We initiate a call from the client via HTTP. The HTTP, the server name, that's the domain name, slash the controller name, slash the action method. The REST API will get triggered, and then it will do the processing, and then we'll get the result back as a JSON payload. So this article elaborates everything. We're gonna go ahead and implement this. Let's go back to the client program.cs. This is where we're going to use the dependency injection. Before that, right, we may have to load some dependency injection. So uh, we would need, for the HTTP client, we need a package. Let's go ahead and add that package. Let's go to new terminal. Let's go to the client. Okay, we're going to add a package, Microsoft.Extensions.Http. This will provide access to the HTTP client. Let's go here. Let's go to the client dependencies package. Yeah, there it is. Very good. I'll go ahead and add a Newtonsoft.Json too, because right, we will get the result back from the controller as a JSON. We may have to convert back into an object, so we would need this package. I will go ahead and add this one too. Okay, there it is. Okay, let's start with the dependency injection. So we have the builder here. We have to register the service, right? Go to services and then do HTTP add HTTP client. Yeah, this provides an option to register the HTTP client. We're going to give it a name. In this case, right, we're going to give it a simple name, Web API, and then we need a client. So use the Lambda expression client. We're going to set the base address for the client. So it will be client dot base address equal to, we can pull the hard base, get the URL from the launch.settings, we will be using the HTTP URL, grab it and then put it, or we can make it dynamic. If it changes in the future, right, we don't want to come back and update this. So we're going to make it dynamic. So we're going to pull it from the host environment. So builder does provide a class that can be used to get the base address. So yeah, this will be the same. This should be the same as this one. So we are making it dynamic. Pretty much that's it. So we got the HTTP client, register it. The next is to get a instantiate an object, right? So we're going to use the same thing, builder.services dot. We're going to do a add scoped or add transient, but I'm going to go with add scoped. We're going to create an instance of HTTP client. So I'm saying HTTP client. The short form is HC. We'll start with HC and then get required services. This is the method I'm going to use to instantiate the object. As per the article here, right? So we have to use the interface HTTP client factory. So let's go ahead and use it. HTTP client factory. This exposes a there is a create client which is going to, here you can see, right, if you pass a string name, this will create and configure an HTTP instance. So we're going to use this one. It needs a name, so we already gave a name, so we're going to use the web API. Okay, this is done. So we are completed with the dependency injection. Other thing is, right, we have the controller, right, trend controller. We have this method, so we need to invoke this method from the client. There are two ways to do it. We can directly invoke it from the trend.razor. I would not do that. I will go ahead and create a new folder called services. We're going to create some services to do it, so that, right, we can segregate the service that is going to interact with the controller. So let me go to services. I'll start with the interface. So I will create an interface called trend data service .cs. Okay, I got this one, and then I will go ahead and create a class that's going to be trend data service. I will go ahead and inherit this interface here. Okay, we got the controller here, right? This is the controller. I'll start with creating a constant private constant string controller. Let's go back here. What's the controller name? Controller name is trend. So I will use the lowercase trend. The next piece is, right, we want the HTTP client, right? So I will go ahead and create a HTTP client variable. I will not instantiate here. I will use a dependency injection. So for the dependency injection, right, we have to use the constructor. Let's go ahead and use the constructor. I will go ahead and use the constructor. So let's go ahead and copy this. Take out the underscore. We're going to assign the variable to the class variable. Okay, this should get us the HTTP client object. The next one is, right, we have to uh, invoke the trend controller, right? So we have to, let's create a public, yeah, it's going to be asynchronous. So start with the asynchronous method. It will be a task. Or what is this controller does it, right? Uh, so we have this method, right? This method will return the uh, list of type generation data as a JSON. What we're going to do is, right, we're going to get the JSON string. It's a string. We have to convert into an object and then pass it back to the Razor file. So the return type will be list.generation.data. So yeah, I think let's check. I haven't added the project reference. Let's go ahead and add that as a add model project as a project reference. Okay, got a .NET add reference. I'm adding the load model project as a reference. Okay, there it is. So let's go here. Let's do using electric.trend.model. Okay. Now this should, yeah, this doesn't comply. Yeah, let's go and give it a name. So get generation data. Okay, this is yeah, let's go ahead and copy this statement. So I will return this here. Okay, copy this method signature, go to the interface, add it here. Yeah, this will go away in a minute. So so we have to invoke that controller action method via HTTP client, right? So to await, we have the HTTP client here. HTTP client dot get. We're going to use get async method. This method, what it's going to do is, right, get async. You can see, right, we have to pass the string URL. The string is, it's going to be the combination of controller. I'm going to use the controller plus this is the action method name. Let me pin it here. Okay, so looks good so far. Get async, right? This is going to return an HTTP response message. So I have to capture that. So let me create a HTTP response message. Name it as response. Okay, have the response here. Yeah, let me go ahead and console dot print it out to make sure, okay, we are getting the response here. Okay, we cannot run it from the client project, so our client project is not a main project, so I have to navigate to the web. Let's do a .NET build. Okay. Okay, yeah, that's good. It's not able to find the model. Let's copy this one. Let's build it again. Okay, it went away. Let's do a dotnet run. Got the page here. So I think I'll not be able to test it out. I missed a step. Okay. I have to invoke the trend.data services, right? So it should come from the CS file. So let's keep it here. So let's go back to the trend.razor. I don't want the code to be in the razor file. So I am going to do a control dot and then do an extract block to code behind. This will create a CS file. That's good. Yeah, this could be a partial class. And then I will go ahead and inherit component base. Yeah, this will provide the various other function that I can inherit to control it. Yeah, we will. Yeah, I'll post the article. We can you can go through it, understand how the component base works. Yeah, that's right. So the lifecycle provides different things. So let's. Yeah, I think right. I can go ahead and show it to you. This component base, right, class has different methods. We're going to use this one, uninitialized async, right? This is right. If you want to load any data during the page load, then we could use this method. So we're going to use this one today. So yeah, this is the definition. So let's go ahead and do it here, right? So I'm going to use the protected. It's a async override. Async. It's a async method task. It's going to be a task on initialized async. That's the, you can see right on initialized async. That's the method name. So let's do it. And within that, right, I am going to use base dot on initialized, so that right rest of the base method can be initialized. I'll go with base dot on initialized. What is this is, right? During the page load, I want to grab the data, or I want to get the data from the database and then hold it on a variable. That's what I'm trying to do it. Let's go ahead and do a using statement. ElectricLoadTrend.Model. Here, right, we have this list here. Let's create a private, I would say, generation data list. Yeah, it could be nullable, so I'll keep it this. And then I would add one more using statement. We're going to use the services, right? So that, okay, so I was using the client. It should be client dot services. Yeah, could be missing something. So let's try again. Okay, web.client.services, there it is. Okay, so we have these services created, right? Once again, right, I would need a instance of this service. We're going to go back and use the dependency injection. It will be here in the client project. Uh, Same concept, so we're going to do a builder.services dot add scoped. We start with the interface. So I think I have to do a using. Yeah, let's do the using dot client dot services I trend data service trend data service. Okay, this will, using dependency just injection, this will instantiate an object and then pass it along. Okay, got this one. Let's go back here. So uh, we're gonna check on one thing. So here, right, in a regular class, the dependency injection, right, we could use the constructor to grab the object that was passed via dependency injection, assign it to the local variable. For within a trend, within the razor, right, within the razor partial file, we could do the same thing, but there is another easy way to achieve it. So there is a attribute called inject. It does the same thing. This will do the dependency injection similar to the constructor. So I'm going to do a private. Okay, I trend data service. I'm going to do a getter setter. I want to make sure it's not null. So this inject statement will make sure this this variable is instantiated, and then we are ready to go. We have this one. Let's go ahead, equal to trend data service. Okay, there it is. Get generation data. Yeah, this is a async method. So you can see, right, this is a async method. So I have to, let's do a pin. I have to use the await operator. Let's do a await. I will also print here console dot write. I will not get it. Okay, because we didn't hook it up. We have the list. So yeah, we have not passing the all the data. So here, right, if I even print, the count should be 0. So let's check it out. Okay. So we got this one on initialized async method. When it gets triggered, it's going to invoke the trend data service that will internally invoke the trend controller to get the data. We're going to test out the response here. If we get a successful response, then we moved one step closer. Yeah, let's give a shot. .NET build. .NET run. I think I'm gonna hit this one. Okay. This is saying, okay, trend data service is not registered, but we did register here. The issue is right now, right, the trend data service. We spoke about the different render modes, right? Right now it's in interactive auto, right? Just briefly, right? The first time when the page gets loaded, it is going to use the interactive server mode. So the page will be loaded from the server, and also all the WebAssembly components will be downloaded on the background. The first request is always from the server, right? So the server does not have the dependency injection. That's why it's failing. What we can do is, right, copy the same thing, go back here right before the builder.build, put it here. So yeah, we don't have access to the servers, so we have to do a project reference. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, let's do a control clear. Yeah, let's go ahead and grab that one. So yeah, it should be this one. Yeah, let's go ahead and add this guy. So should be, oh, okay, I missed a space. Let's do a clear again. Okay, let's do a clear and build. Okay, yeah, so the other problem is right here, right? So this will not exist in the server project for time being, right? So we're going to use the hard-coded URL here. So let me, or we could get it from the configuration file. We will do it in the next video for to make it working, right? So I'm going to pass the hard-coded URL. In the next video, we're going to get it from the configuration file. This is done. The next one is, let's do a web.client.services. Yeah, this is gone. Looks good. So let's do a clear, do a .NET build. Okay, so let's run it. Okay, we are able to invoke the chart. Let's go back here. Okay, we got the 404. Yeah, we're missing the, you see, right, there is missing a slash. That's good. Let's go ahead and fix it. Let's go to here. I did miss a slash here. That was causing the issue. Okay, let's try again. Okay, so we were able to get a 200 response back, but we want to display the response content. So miss the statement. We have to do the response dot read. Okay, I'm going to do a white response dot read. Okay, yeah, there it is. It's a content. I was missing that content dot read as, I want the string, right? We're going to use the string. I'm going to store it in the variable response content. Let's go ahead and print this guy. Hopefully we should get the response this time. Let's do a dot build. Sorry, should be build. Do a clear .NET run. Okay, let's give a shot. Okay, there it is. We were able to get the response content and then display it here. Let me scroll all the way up. Okay, so there it is, response content. So we got the response content as a JSON, and then we just returning the empty list as a result. That's the reason we are displaying the result being displayed as 0. So we got the string. So the next piece is, right, we have to convert the string into a JSON. Uh, we have to convert the JSON string into the list, right? This is generation data model. So let's focus on doing that. So remember, right, we used the Newtonsoft.Json package in our in the client project. It's here. We're going to make use of this Newtonsoft. To start with, I'm going to use the using statement here, using Newtonsoft.Json. Newtonsoft exposes a method called JSON convert that deserialize object. We are going to deserialize the JSON string into an object. We have to provide an object. So it's going to be a list of generation data. So let's do this, and then we have to pass the string variable, response content, and then there are a few settings. I'm going to use JSON serialize settings. We're going to say object creation handling equal to, and we're going to do a replace, so that we make sure, right, every request, right, we will create a new object and then replace all the values. That's what we're trying to do here. So we will have this one. So we can assign it to the local variable get generation data, and then this is complaining about the null error. So I think, right, we will convert it. Yeah, we can do this one to fix it. I'm going to do the pragma warning display disable, so that, right, it will stop complaining. Okay, looks good. So same thing here. That's fine, I think. So that's the same possible null reference. I'm going to skip it right now. So we can do a pragma warning, or we can skip it. That's fine. So we got this result. From right now, right, the count, we should get a actual count. So let's give a shot. Yeah, that's okay. I think it's doing a warning for the null reference. Okay, there it is. We are able to get the count. So from the onInitialized async method, right, we were able to invoke the service, and then service will internally invoke the trend controller. Okay, I think this could be a good stopping point. Let me summarize. In this video, what we did is, right, we did add a data service, that is trend data service, that is going to use HTTP client to make a call to the trend controller to get the data. So we did get the data, and then we were able to display it on the console. And then the next piece is, right, so we did use Newtonsoft.Json to convert the JSON string into an object. And then we use the onInitialized async method on the Razor code behind to call the trend.data service, get the data, and then display it on the console. We were able to test it out. We were able to pull the data all the way to the Razor page. In the next video, right, we will focus on the chart. That's all I got. If you have any questions, post it on the comment. I will see you next week. Thank you. Have a good one. Bye.